Like he's tired.
Football coach.
Yeah, because he thought he did.
I just tossed him out.
No, he's only
So you want to be a sports person in the state of Minnesota, you're actually, you're a sports involved in line to cover the state. Because you can go find someone and you can Wasika or Minchi or know right about
As far as young athletes on the Minnesota sports team, I'll take Luke Keisha over J.J. Massard. Several players. They don't know if they're fighting fans, you know, there's nobody there. There's nobody against us.
I was waiting for anger of my tweet during the Vikings game. It's good to see someone in the gym and taking us through.
Yeah, so there you go. The day, a little over.
Yeah, that's good.
They should have been.
I'll tell you what, it's all better than that team. And it's all better. My favorites. They were all blessed.
They were. They said it. My answer was off the bars because they're fighting people.
I bet she loves.
With the helicopters or parents.
I'll talk to you about it.
Who was the line? Who was the defensive back with the stutter? Buster. He was. Got it. Take 10 minutes for him to say a sentence out there.
He was a sticking guy.
Keep this up.
Yes, it probably was good.
It turned out to be the
Keep rolling.
dumbest fucker they ever had football.
So, oh, there we go.
Hey, what's going
How you doing? Hey, Tim Ben Fraser.
Hey, man, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Yeah.
There he is.
Best partner ever in the history of St. Thomas.
I did, yeah. A few of them, Max and I, and hanging out. There's some we should probably like, so. Yeah, good to get away. Time of year, but. Oh, of course, yes. Zorbas, Hoagies, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I looked at,
So we got one.
Oh, that's right.
When you
I want to go, just in general, we should be there, we gotta have 30 people from the state of Minnesota on the elected team. Right, so it costs 30 grand a head.
No, we got, oh, didn't you, you were first? I was first.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for today's preseason football press conference. Today we will be joined by 5 individuals: head coach Glenn Caruso, who enters his 18th year as head coach of Tommy football, along with seniors Jason Lalaberty, Patrick Wagner, Den Jewett, and Ryan Seaver. We will begin with an opening statement from Coach Caruso and then open it to the floor for questions.
I don't have much to say, but I'll answer your questions. Grateful that you're here. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Tremendous outpouring of support for the beginning of the season, and certainly a lot of people are interested. So grateful for your time and your effort and energy. As Kelsey said, extremely excited to be starting our 18th year, going on just about 2 decades here, and you start to see things come full circle. You're able to look at the players you have and sort of relate them to some of the players that we've had in years past and connect them. You start to look at a team and start to compare it, even though you shouldn't, but I'm human and I do, to some of the teams we've had in years past and how they gel and how the brotherhood starts building. And it's been an absolute blessing. It is a great reminder that with so much going on in the world, with so much going on in college football, that at the end of the day, what makes me smile the most is still getting a chance to go in the locker room with these guys. I love the community that they've built. I love who they are as people, and the best part of my job, the best, it's not even close, is being with them on a daily basis. And for the next month, we get to do that. We've already been doing it 10 days, but for the next 3 weeks, we get to do it every day, all day, and it's pretty cool. So I'll open it up for questions. Shoot.
How are you gonna decide who your quarterback?
It's a great question. I just told you we have 21 more days, Patrick, so we're going to use the gift of time, right?
There's 6 of them, you gotta have a pecking.
There's a lot, and right now, Mari Powell is doing a great job. I think before I get into the specifics of the quarterback, new to our program is offense coordinator and quarterback coach Jay McIntyre. I have been, I would say, borderline enamored with the work he has done to build the relationship of trust in that quarterback room. I've been grateful for the efforts in how he approached recruiting and just the thrift with which he teaches. Amari Powell has lifted his game to a whole different level. A selfless and thoughtful warrior is what I would use to describe him. He's coming into his own after they arrived 2 weeks ago. And look, Amari's been here all summer, but then they come in on day 1 and Rachel's with me, and Rachel looks at me and she says, "Is it just me or did Amari get taller?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right? Like he seems taller, right?" He didn't get any taller, but he's performing really well. And then certainly guys like Ryan Jackson, Michael Rosberg are getting reps right now. We also brought a new quarterback, a grad transfer into our program, Andy Peters, from Boise originally, played at Boise, most recently from College of Idaho. For people that have not seen him but know our program like you guys do, stature more like a Cade, 6'4", 234, 238, can run the ball efficiently, might not rip off a 68-yard run, but you guys remember what we were able to do with Cade, and he brings that, and he's getting reps right now with the 2s and learning the new system. So to answer the question quickly, I can't, but we're going to take the gift of time, and we're not going to be in a rush to make the right decision.
school navigate that and just, I guess, kind of level of excitement with where you guys are at now is officially for the first season? Do you want to put that?
Yeah, I think it's. We have to do the mic switchy. Sorry about that. We're gonna have to do just move the mics to in front of you if we can. Sorry about that.
All three of them.
Please.
You got it? I got nothing else to do.
Well, I hear you're gonna have them all boxed in the
We're good.
facility.
Totally good. Go ahead.
Well, I think that the school has been great with the transition, and I think that everyone on campus is just super excited. First with, the new arena getting popped up, and then now with us being able to participate in playoffs. It's just something that we've been waiting for and something that we have been wanting the past 4 or 5 years. And, we miss those guys that were playing with us that have graduated over the past couple of years that weren't able to participate in playoffs, and so we're going to do that for them.
Jason, since the microphone's over there. Oh, you want to keep going on that?
I just heard him chime in.
No, it's all right.
Just since it's over there, I moved to Jason, just expounding on that. You find out a month ago, it's official, you guys can qualify for the playoffs. I know that's not going to change your preparation or how you approach each game, but knowing that there is that additional carrot at the end of the season, does that add a little more spark to what you guys are doing?
Yeah, for sure. Coach is really heavy on being in the moment and not focusing too far in the future, but it's all in the back of our minds as players. We're definitely very excited to get the opportunity this year, and that was one big thing when I knew I was redshirting as a freshman, that's an opportunity that I wanted to see as a fifth year, so I'm definitely excited for it.
Coach, if you could speak on the 4 players that have been selected preseason honors in the conference, just something that you haven't been asked about the 4 players individually and collectively in terms of the importance of being on this team.
Specifically, the 4 players that are with us. When someone says, pick 4 people that you think will represent the program tremendously well, know who we are, and speak to that with every word that they utter, it's tough to narrow it down. And so I'm grateful for that. In this class, these are 4th and 5th year guys who are here. Guys like Den Jouet and Ryan Seaver and Patty, who came in, this is their 4th year. And certainly, as Jason alluded to, this is his 5th year, so different classes. I just think the type of young man that we as coaches get to coach here at St. Thomas is elite. And I'm not talking about how fast they run, and I'm not talking about how hard they hit, although they do that well. But the type of person that we're able to bring in, I think this table speaks to it. I mean, about half of our team, this wasn't planned, but about half of our team is from Minnesota. About half of the table is from Minnesota. We've done a good job, I think, in starting to poke into areas like Chicago, and Den's from Chicago. We've gotten the chance to be able, the last 4 years, to expand our brand coast to coast. Patty's from Maryland. So I think it's a great microcosm, this group. But if I talk too deeply at each one, I would get too emotional just because I am absolutely in love with who they are. Their stalwartness and their ability to do what we ask them to do, and at times that changes. Jason's played 4 different positions on the offensive line. Den had to wait 2.5 years to really get his chance. Ryan came in right away and played, and now he's playing. We're asking leadership out of him at a different level. And when we switch offenses, Patty Wagner goes from just being a tight end to being a tight end, a U and an H, and a wide receiver. So they are up for anything that we need from them, and not just as a football program. I think Patty spoke to it just 2 minutes ago. To have the opportunity to see what's going on this campus right now as a university, and this isn't part of the question, but I'm going to answer it now anyway because Patty mentioned something about it. I think the fact that we are playoff eligible right now, although maybe not the initial intention, speaks to the magnitude of what so many people have done to get not just this program, but this entire university in the direction it's going, and done so in pretty quick fashion. And that starts with President Rob Vischer and Vice President Phil Eston. And I think that their leadership has been impeccable to get us to this point, to where the NCAA says, okay, you guys can be playoff eligible this year.
Glenn, how does your kind of message change this year, if at all? I know as regards to the playoff eligibility
we knew that we didn't make a big deal of it. It is what it is. Whether we still have to do our work to even have a chance, and that's so far down the road, Ren. Like, we have no idea how long that's going to be. I think Jason nailed it. We're aware that that's out there, but that's not our focus. Our focus is being better at who we are. But honestly, you could ask these guys, what's a little different about this year than years past that you guys have experienced?
For me personally, I would say the biggest difference, or for us, I would say the biggest difference is our intent. Like Coach is saying, like, we know what's down the road, we know what we can achieve, and if you look back on the 22 season, when we were able to accomplish the conference championship, we know what it felt like to not go and allow the next team to go. So we're just looking forward to, make that next step and do something big for this university.
How I would describe it is there's a different juice in the locker room, I feel like, knowing that you're playing for something more than just the end of the season, our senior day, which obviously we love to honor those guys who played before us, but now we're playing for something more than that, and there's just a different level of angst and juice in our locker room right now, and we're excited. So.
You opened with Lindenwood.
Correct.
How was that bus ride back?
Plane ride.
Was it plane? Good.
It was. It was difficult, but as we just got done, 20 minutes before I walked in this room, we were reading our book, The Obstacle is the Way. That's the book that we're reading this year as a team. We read a little bit every day. I don't read because I'm horrible at it, but the players read to each other. It's pretty cool, actually. And at the end of it, after Stefano Giovanelli got done reading, I said, guys, Steph might have just read the most true statement I've ever heard anybody utter, and it is that blessings and burdens are not mutually exclusive. And I think we need to understand that. That team got after us, and they are doing a great job. Jed's doing a great job down there. Their school's doing a great job. They're moving in a wonderful direction. But that was last year, and we need to be able to utilize how we felt in that bus ride to the airport to fly home. We need to be able to utilize that for context and for motivation. Now, I'm going to explain when I say motivation. I'm not talking about revenge. That's not a motivating factor for us, right? But if we want to go from here to here, whatever here is and whatever this is, we have to recognize that we're going to take every opportunity to collect data points. Some of those are fun. Some of those are not fun. Your first question touched on one that wasn't fun. All of them are equally bountiful if we're thoughtful about it, and these guys are thoughtful.
I'd like to hear the players talk about that too, just about what you remember about that day and what you can each take from that to improve upon this year.
I feel that we got hit hard early, and we started to shut down early as well. And when you're down that far at half, that's all you're thinking about. But, taking that burden and then having the blessing to learn that we can't do that from here on out, is that there's still another half to play. There's still a full game to play, and we still have to keep going. And then just seeing guys like Griff Wirtz and Alec Rasmussen just as sad as can be after that loss, and just taking what they wanted in their last year, and they couldn't beat a scholarship team, and now we have the opportunity to do it on week one here at home. I think it's just an unbelievable opportunity for us.
I'll add on to that. No one comes into this program thinking that it's going to be easy, and this program has been born, specifically the last decade in this transition, born out of facing the hard and doing the hard. We're not going to shy away from it, and if that means difficult opponents too, so be it. We're in the situation we're in, Pat, because we don't turn away from the hard, and I'm grateful for that, as difficult as it might be on some days.
How long was the North Dakota State game on the table? Did you take that one?
I don't know. You guys have any idea? The question was, how long was the NDSU game on the table?
3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
3 or 4 years.
And just for another tough, particularly non-conference slate, especially travel and everything we were talking about. Does it help though, just knowing in the back of your mind that, okay, you have that postseason eligibility, like is that maybe a little bit of extra motivation?
I would say absolutely. I mean, I think that with our non-conference schedule, our conference schedule can get overlooked. And for us right now, obviously week one is our priority. Getting through camp is our priority. Getting through today is our priority. Getting through practice today is our priority. We take it one game at a time, one day at a time, and like we alluded to before, that postseason opportunity is still there, but we can't control that right now. What we can't control is our effort today at practice, and so that's what we're going to focus on.
Well, the offensive line's always been the foundation of this team. You've lost a couple of key guys from last year. How's the group coming along now?
Great. Coach Hagler is doing, I think, a fantastic job. You're right. It is something that we believe in. We will go the way the offensive line traditionally goes, and I'm talking as a team. We lose some big names that have a lot of starts, to your point. We also were able last year, some of it fortunately because of our depth, and some of it unfortunately at times because of injury of guys that were ahead of them, to be able to play guys. We have 4 guys. Certainly Jason's a multi-year starter. Caleb Rector is starting, and he's returning as well. Marcus Johnson started several games, and I think he's been playing like a starter for the last year or so. It's just he's been behind someone who's been a long-time starter for us, and James Morrison. So if you think about the way we don't often notice, sometimes if a backup running back gets in there and has a good game and has 2 touchdowns, you ask me about him. If a backup linebacker comes out of a game and has 7 tackles, you ask me about him. But we don't often talk about the reps that we're able to get to those other guys. So going well. I also think we have some youth, probably one of our better classes we brought in since that first class with Jason and Shea and Alec and Langston. Probably the best class since then. So we're just in the same process right now of trying to find out what our high end is and then how we can build the depth out. But that is something that we take extremely seriously at that position.
For the players in the Pioneer, do we have the rival yet? Do we have, boy, I hate those guys. Let's go beat them up, you know. There used to be a team not far from here. I had that attitude. Do you have a rival yet?
I would say we don't have a rivalry. We just want to focus on each team each week as we go into conference play. Every team we want to go in and quote-unquote beat them up, but I would say there is no rivalry with us.
You nod your head like you might have had an answer.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Like, I do not like the Drake Bulldogs.
That's what I was looking for.
But like Den said as well, like it's a week-to-week thing. It's there's a lot of conference games that we lost last year that we're now looking like, okay, we got to get these guys back. And that doesn't dismiss the fact that we have San Diego week 4, and that's going to be a dogfight. Butler's going to be a dogfight. I mean, you go down the list, and every game's important, and that's what I love about this team and this conference is that you can't shy away, you can't sleep on any game. Any opponent can show up at any day. But with that said, yeah, we have different hatreds, I guess, for specific teams.
And I will say this, I don't know if hatred's the right word, not the word I would use anyway, but I said when we first transitioned that we weren't going to sneak up on many people, or at least I didn't think that was going to take very long. These guys have worked tirelessly over their careers. Every one of them have been here 4 years. Over their careers, they have the best record in the Pioneer League in the first 4 years we've been in the Pioneer League, and it's by several games. So I guess to just frame that question, there's a lot of teams that play really, really well when they either come here to play us or we go there to play them. And to both Dan and Ryan's point, you're going to get the absolute best that that team has. And that's a badge of honor, and we wear it proudly.
I guess, sorry, just a quick follow on that note. You talked about kind of, I guess, an increasing notoriety, and this is either for coach or any of the players. I was talking to Ruth this morning, women's basketball coach here, and she talked about how just the name recognition of like St. Thomas she's seen that increase, especially even in recent years. She's not having people hitting her up like, oh, was that in the Virgin Islands or whatever. She
Right.
comment about that. How have you guys maybe seen that? Obviously, I think some of the guys kind of on this panel where they come from are an example of that, but just increased maybe name recognition, notoriety coming with St. Thomas schools.
I'll let them answer, but I will tell you without a doubt, we see it in recruiting where, and look, we haven't arrived by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like everybody understands who we are, but when we go into new recruiting areas now, they don't say, what's that TS on your chest, right? They say, hey, you guys are doing a fantastic job and it's fun to watch you. So although it doesn't entitle us to anything, it has absolutely opened a lot of eyes. And I will tell you directly, I was this past year, about 6 years ago, I was in an airport down south, and they asked the same thing. They saw the shield, and they said, what is TS? Is that Texas State, or what is it, right? We were way, way, way out of the upper Midwest, okay? Went back to that same airport last year, and obviously it was a different person, but in the same airport, when someone saw the logo, they said, hey, go Tommies. And I think that speaks to the slow but steady steps that we're taking. How about you guys? You noticed any of it?
Yeah, I remember my first interaction was when I was a senior in high school. I remember watching Stephen A. Smith talk about it on ESPN, the transition. That was kind of eye-opening because I wasn't really too familiar with St. Thomas being from Minnesota, but it's been really cool to see us gradually progress in everyone's minds and see how we grow throughout the years, in the 5 years I've been here. And I think, as Coach said earlier, our 2022 season, I think definitely opened a lot of people's eyes and, them seeing that we can play and we can do it at a high level for a long time, so.
It's just a quick follow for Coach. I'm from North Carolina. Where was the airport, if you remember?
It's Houston.
It was Houston?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, are you related to Bill Lalverty?
That doesn't sound familiar, no.
He was a 125-pound superstar running back at St. John's, and I thought something happened with the family tree.
Yeah, I'll have to ask my dad on that, but I'm not too sure.
Question for the players, obviously it's, basketball, hockey facility. I'm curious, I've seen, as I've been out here a few times, folks, Bill included, walking around with the hard hats. Have you guys had the chance to check out kind of what's going on with the new Anderson Arena?
Not yet, but we've walked around that
You want to
area.
go grab his?
It's been.
Caitlin, why don't you go grab his? Is it in the locker?
Oh, it's in my locker, yeah.
Go grab it.
So we haven't had a chance to go in, but definitely around the area and the videos that have been posted. I mean, it's looking amazing, and we're really excited for both the basketball teams and the hockey teams to go and support them, and it's going to be one of a kind. It's really cool.
How's parking these days? During the season. Is that the #1 task here at St. Thomas?
It'll make you want to become a scooter salesman for sure, I promise you.
All driving scooters?
It's definitely different. There's on-street parking and on campus, but I live with 3 other football guys, and we all have cars, so we all kind of try to make our schedules very similar. So we come to practice. We have an on-campus parking pass, so that's usually not too difficult to find, but every school is different with parking.
Glenn, I think you're now the senior coach in point of service in the Pioneer League. That sound crazy to you? I mean, you've only been in the league for
Can we quantify that in terms of years served, not actual age? Is it just years served we're talking, right? And it might be in terms of actual age, too. But yes, it's been 4 years and a month since the transition started, and we are now the elder statesmen of the league. We've seen all the teams turn over. We've seen some of those programs turn over twice. And I just think that speaks to two things. I think it speaks to the power of what St. Thomas is and the type of young men that we get to coach here. I don't know what goes on. I've been, cloistered here for the last 2 decades, and I'm happy to be here, right? I don't know all the other programs and what goes on. But I will tell you that something like that doesn't happen unless you believe firmly in the mission of the school and you love dearly the guys that you get to coach. And I'll tell you why. So there's a theme, many reasons. Caitlin's got the hat. So to your point, so make a nice little shot for you. So the offensive line, going back to your question 6 minutes ago, the offensive line always has a theme when we come to camp. One year it might be, flannel. The other year it might be tropical shirts or something like that. And look, we all look like not our best versions of ourselves during camp. You don't, you just kind of wear whatever you wear whatever you can, and put a comb through your hair and you get to practice. And so this year, I walk in on day one, and my daughter Anna says, "Hey, what do you think the O-line theme's going to be?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I can't wait to see it. Like, I'm dying to see it." I walk in on day one, and these guys are in the largest. What are they? Construction vests that you have ever seen, like neon. So if anyone runs into an offensive lineman literally walking across campus, that's your fault. I'm just telling you, because they're neon. So going with that, we thought that, there's a lot of growth going on. There's a lot of building going on around here. And yet what I love about our players is the blue-collar mentality and the work that they love putting in. So just yesterday, we gave out our very first award of the year, which, to the question earlier about the construction, Caitlin, can we see that? Patty Wagner actually won it, but the worker of the week ends up getting this. So you can go ahead and get a quick shot with Patty with that on if you want. It's kind of cute, but we thought that it would embody the type of people who we are as a program, and certainly the type of work that we want to put in. Other questions or comments? Well, grateful. Again, I'll finish how I started. Grateful for all of you to be here. Tremendously excited about what our year 18, their year 4, year 5 has in front of us. But as both Den and Ryan said, it's all we can do to focus on what we can control right now. And blessed and honored to be able to be the head coach of guys that think that way, and grateful for them too. So hope you have a great day.
For those of you who are interested, players and coach will be available for one-on-ones for about 15 minutes here until about 1 o'clock. And I can help get you space in the room, but thank you all for coming today. Credentials are also in the back on the table, so we can get you those as you're heading out. But thank you all.
How you been? It's great to see you again. Thanks for taking the time to come out.
Thank you.
Things going good?
Yeah.
Basketball this summer? Weren't you involved in that for a little bit?
I don't know any basketball.
No? Okay.
Covers. I try to give the kids space, and I get space.
My dad used to say absence makes a heart grow fonder. Sometimes we don't respect that too much as a sporting society. You got to get at it? Thanks again. Appreciate you. You want a few minutes?
Shelby here.
Hey, What's up, man? Great to meet you.
Do you guys want to?